Hello, everybody. About 6 years ago, I began flirting with the idea of rebuilding some of the collections that I put together when I was a child and into young adulthood. Now, I never fully got out of collecting at any particular time. There were times when I did put it on the back burner, and I still kept my eye on it, kind of like a side eye. Check eBay every once in a while, buy a few singles, buy a few cards, buy a diecast from the store, check the diecast aisles, see what was going on with Ninja Turtles. Just kind of kept an eye on it. And unfortunately, and I've mentioned this in other videos, I lost a lot of my items. Once was in a storage unit, and then there were some other situations that happened that were incredibly unfortunate. I found myself in this place where I couldn't take knowing that I didn't have those things, and I wanted to kind of rebuild the collection and then also understand what relationship I had with those items. And it's been a really great journey over the last 6 years. And I think this is the longest stretch of focused collecting and buying and selling and trading that I have done in my life. Buying and selling and trading do fuel other collections and other interests, and I think that's absolutely wonderful. And that's how I exist in collecting, because I have never had the financial resources to just keep everything. So that being said, one of the items that I started to look for were the early Racing Champions 1/64 scale diecast they're called flat bottom cars. And I ended up looking for different lots of them, and I don't know if you know this, but NASCAR stuff has been pretty cheap for the last 6 years, and it's gone up a little bit in the last couple of years. And I was so fortunate to find this group of diecast cars for like $1 a car, and I just bought them, and I've just been holding on to them. And this is not a flat bottom. I think there's a flat bottom in here, and what that means is on the bottom of the blister pack, see this little bubble, so the car can stand up. Whoops. Well, on the flat bottom versions, which was the first issue of the Racing Champions cars 1/64 scale, it was in 1989, I believe, and there were 5 cars, and they all didn't have, it was just straight plastic on the bottom, so that's why they call them flat bottoms. And anyway, I purchased from Josephine Mott, she owned a collectibles store in Michigan. I bought one of these Davey Allison cars, and I think it actually had the red car on it, which I'm sure there's probably one of those in here. But there's 2 different cards from the early days. And the more modern one has the red, I think it says number 51 on it, or 91, I can't remember. And it's just a car on the package. And I had a Davey Allison, it was unpunched, it was in perfectly mint condition. And Josephine Mott was a incredible Davey Allison collector, fan, and I believe she knew him personally. At least that's the understanding I got from visiting her shop. And so anyway, I looked for some Davey Allison cars, and then the Dale Earnhardt car, and then the flat bottom cars, and people still wanted a lot for the flat bottoms. And you can find them individually. I found one for like $3 or something. I'll show it to you in a second. But I just bought this lot. I think there was a lot of Davey and Dale, or there was just a mixed lot of the two. So I'm gonna pull all these out of here. I thought this was really great because one of the ways that I like to collect, oh, there it is right there. That's the flat bottom. See the difference? Let's see. There we go. Yeah, you can see there's no bubble on the bottom, bubble on the bottom. This unpunched does have wrinkles by the tab. And yeah, oh, interesting. Put little whiteout pieces on the back. I wonder if that was done by some collectible shop or if that was actually from the factory. Be interesting to see. So these were all, this one I bought individually, and this was like $3 plus shipping, so it's probably like $8. And the rest of them were like $1 a car. And so I figured, what the heck? One of the ways I like collecting is just stocking them up. Just as many of the same thing. If it brings me like joy and delight, I just love it. My 97 double burners and the 96, 97 relic cards, memorabilia cards from Press Pass in 98. It's a perfect example. I love just buying them over and over, stacking them up, trading them, all kinds of things. It's really great. So this is unpunched. So this would have been 1989. So there are cards in here, and 89 is accepted or seen as Dale Earnhardt's rookie card, you know, from Max Day, and this one's in really great shape. I mean, the borders are not so much. And I don't think every card from 89, because there's like a Crisco Dale Earnhardt card, there's other cards of him in Victory Lane, but I think that portrait shot is what's accepted and for his rookie card. So I don't think this Racing Champion would be considered that. It'd be considered an early card, but yeah, so there we go. This is pretty close to the condition that I had of my original one, except for this one's in where it was pristine. It was absolutely pristine car. It's unfortunate that I think as a kid I traded or paid like $50 for it, and that was in like 93, 94, something like that. But these are in really great shape. And they are all Davey in the black car. He only ran this 1 year, 1990. And yeah, and then he went to so he ran the black and white with the gold. He ran it 87, 88, 89, 90. He ran it like this, and there was actually a second version of the decals, I think really early on, where they did the white outlines because it was just, I think, becoming muddy. You couldn't really make out the numbers. Rusty had a similar paint scheme with his Miller Genuine Draft car when he drove for the number 27. So a lot of these are unpunched too, so they're really great. They're really great. And I'm showing these because they're finally like just sitting near me. They've been in my storage for several years, so it's nice to have these out. And a lot of these videos that I make are records of my collection. Even though I'm like sharing information, they're records of my collection, a lot of the times for myself. Ooh, this one's in really great shape. So I can see what I had, because the nature of my collecting and the nature of my situation is that most of the items I get are, you know, they can go at any time. And I've learned that through them being taken. I learned that through me losing them, not misplacing them, but me losing them. And I've learned that through, like, when I want something else, you know, I have these resources here so that I can utilize them to get something else that I'd like. Whether that's another collectible, whether that's paying for a tank of gas when I have a car, whether that's food, rent, all kinds of different stuff. And I just want to make a record of my collecting experiences and do so in these. So these must have been the two nicest ones that I wanted to keep for my own collection. They're in these bags here. Make sure I keep at least one of each, right? I think I'll have to revisit that and see if there's ones that are in better shape. And so I just want to make a video of this. These early 1/64th scale Racing Champion cars are a lot of fun. This one is awesome. You see the car is different. Card is the same. The card looks like it's the same. Blister is not the same. Spot the differences. Let's take So I thought there were more Earnhardts than this, and it turns out these are mostly Davey. Mostly Davey. We got 4 or 5 Earnhardts. That's cool. That is freaking cool. So here. It was just wild to It's just so wild to find these. And to know that I was able to reacquire, you know, something that would have taken so much more money when I was younger. So I was delighted by that. And then, you know, as time goes on and share more about different aspects of collecting and everything, kind of talk about my relationship with collectibles and how they've helped in a lot of different ways in my life. So yeah, so that's it. Just want to show you some Davey and Dale Earnhardt Sr. cars. There was something I recognized while I was sorting them to see which ones I was going to keep, and I planned on opening one of these too. I've never had one of the Davies open, so I'm going to do that so I can have it. And all right. So what I wanted to share is that there is a difference in the tires. There's a hard plastic tire, which we're used to on the newer diecast and the diecast after the first series or two. This is a standard plastic tire. And then we have the rubber tires. And you can tell that they're the rubber tires because of this extra little ring that's around the wheel. See how that one doesn't have it? You actually see the rim, and that one has the little plastic ring on the inside of the tire. There we go. Maybe you can see it a little bit easier. Show the two different side by side. And to me, when I thought this was rubber. I really did. And we're gonna find out when after we open this, because the plastic, it looks like rubber, like it's turning white. So yeah, and this Davey is the one that's in the worst condition, so I'm going to open this one. And I only have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 of this entire group that I have only have the rubber tires, or only 4 have the rubber tires. So we got 2 Earnhardts, unpunched for the first one. Got a Davey, unpunched. And we got another Earnhardt, unpunched. And look at the difference in these two. The tires are down here on the bottom one, they're much lighter. They're actually, holy smokes, they're actually embossed. So there's no paint on those tires. That is embossed Racing Champions. And that is the painted on Racing Champions. You can see the difference. And that's not even a flat bottom. That's really cool. And this is a flat bottom. And this has painted on. That's wild. All right, so if you know any more about the tire situation with the old Racing Champions, please leave a comment, let me know, because I think when I was looking for it, I didn't find another YouTube video, and very little, mostly just eBay auctions were available. If you know, please leave a comment in the description or in the comment section so that we can educate some people, including myself, because I want to know if there's a definite difference than what I'm noticing. Let's open up this Davey Allison from, it says 1989. It's a 1990 car. All right, I've always wanted one of these open. These look like rubber tires to me. If I were to, you know, not have any other cars to compare to, I would think that these were the rubber tires just by the way they look. They're just not, they're not like glossy or anything. So let's, ooh, dang. Looks like it's got mold or something on it. That's not what we want. Ooh, okay. They're totally plastic. I mean, they are totally plastic. Such a silly, goofy looking car, and it's awesome. Like, the silhouette is like how I would draw a car when I was a kid. Looks a little bit like a Mustang. And then that's where this side is where the card was resting up against the car for 35 years, 34 years. Incredible. Now I have one that I can just set on the desk and kind of roll back and forth. I do that, you know, just have cars sitting around, roll them around. It's very soothing. So that's it. That's cool. So these are definitely plastic tires, 100%. And I'm not opening one of the rubber ones. Oh yeah, this should show 1989. That's just when the mold was made. Awesome. All right, that's cool. So now that's like another part of my collecting journey that I didn't get to complete when I was younger, and now I totally did. And I have a video record of all these awesome cars. And again, if you know anything about the variations, the rubber tires, the embossed tires, the painted tires, because it seems like there's a few options out there, please let me know. If you like the video, comment, subscribe, leave, you know what to do. Thumbs up, all that stuff. All right, thanks, bye.